So in today's world, there's a lot of different things happening. Obviously, there's a lot of dangerous places in the world. Just because you see or read something online doesn't mean every country is dangerous, but every country now and again has different problems, from Africa over to India, into England, over to Mexico. There's a lot of issues nowadays, but what I tried to really figure out is what happens if I looked at the safest country in the world out of 196 countries on our amazing planet. I decided to book a ticket and find my way over to what I considered, from all the information, what is the safest country in the world. And this is the thought I had. So I went ahead, I booked my ticket. I found this place right here with a smaller population, but obviously I only had 48 hours to explore this place alone by car. It was one of the most impressive places I've ever seen, not to mention the best for scenic landscapes if you're a videographer or a photographer. So I was definitely blown away by this for sure. So I'm going to take you on my adventure here and show you the best place in the world as far as safety. Let's go. So make sure and stick around. I'm going to venture into this epic history of a legendary explorer and leader. Not to mention, coming up later, I'm going to show you on a budget how I filmed this as I went through this amazing country. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is about 5:30 in the morning here, and I am hopefully all packed and ready to go to my trip to this country that is apparently the safest country in the world, not to mention the most iconic as far as landscape, or one of them in the world. So I'm gonna get going here. It is bright and early. The sun has not come up yet. I don't even think there's my alarm right there. So anyway, let's get going. Let's get on with the trip. Every trip has a start to it, and although I'm not thrilled about flying all the time here, I did find quite a great flight from Charlotte going north up the East Coast in the US all the way to Boston, as you can see right there. From Boston, I left and I went to this country here, like I said before, not exactly knowing what to expect, but I finally landed here and I got a little shot here with some stock video right there. But here I am. So I got in right here to Iceland. I'm not in Reykjavik. I'm about 30 minutes outside of Reykjavik, the capital, at the international airport. I'm waiting for my rental car. Everything was pretty smooth. Airline was fantastic. I slept most of the way. From Boston over to Iceland here was about 4 hours and 45 minutes. And all I'm thinking about now is the car rental, but I just got my bags ready to go. It's about 6 in the morning right now, and the time change from Boston is around 4 hours, I believe. Iceland's 4 hours ahead. But I just got the car right now. It is Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. and I'm just gonna look at the car right now, take a look around. So I'll give you some advice here. When you do rent a car, make sure you pull out your phone and take a look at the car. I videoed the whole car here, looking for any scrapes or dents or anything like that. And at the end of the trip, it actually paid off, because I actually had some actual evidence of a scratch that was on the car before, and so I didn't have to pay for anything. As you can see to the right here, I drone this later, as that's about 30 minutes away from where I was before. Iceland has the name the land of ice and fire, and there's an explanation behind this. Basically, as we're going to look at this geothermal map, I'm going to show you a fault line that runs right through the center of Iceland that creates so many different volcanoes and earthquakes. This fault line is known as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and as we hit the road right here, I'm going to show you some other volcanic lava fields. It's one in particular that is quite famous. Now, in the year 1783, there was a gigantic explosion and eruption right here in Iceland. And this one in particular, as you're going to see, this lava field is covered now with moss, normally green moss here, but this is one of the biggest lava fields in the entire world right here. In fact, it is the largest at 565 square miles. Now, this is normally what it looks like. This is a stock footage shot right here of the actual area, but we're going to keep moving. I'm going to show you something from outside here, a satellite view exactly where this is right here, the Eldaron lava fields, as we zoom all the way out here out of Iceland. And we're going to go back to the main road here. Now, I'm surrounded in these lava fields right here. I actually did not make it to the lava field itself, but I got very close. So we're back on the road, and let's see what we find next. So we're 3 hours into the trip here, and there's some highlights that I have to show you that are coming up in the future episodes for Iceland, including epic waterfalls. You're going to see some wildlife. These horses were very cool, and so much more along the way. Be sure and watch the history that's coming up here in less than 30 seconds on Lief Erickson, and I'm also going to show you what I actually filmed with here on a bit of a budget to get to all these different places and show you my story as I go along in Iceland. So it's about that time where we get into the history, and I'm going to introduce you to Lief Erickson, or Lief the Lucky. Now, his father was Eric the Red, if you're familiar with that name, and this man was quite important. A lot of researchers believe here he was the first European in North America in what he considered Vinland, present-day Newfoundland, Canada. Now, coming up here, I'm going to show you a map here. According to Eric Saga, or Eric the Red, while returning to Greenland in about 1000 AD, Lief was blown off course and landed on the North American continent, where he observed forests with excellent building timber and grapes, which led him to call the new region Vinland, or Land of Wine. From time to time, I keep getting the question, what equipment do I film with? So I'm going to show you right here. It starts with the iPhone 12 Pro Max right there, 40K 60 FPS. Then I'm going to move on to the Osmo 3. This is a gimbal to stabilize all your footage. It's vital. And then we're also going to move on to my favorite, the DJI Mavic Mini drone, 4K camera. So that's something you have to have. And finally, Final Cut Pro X to edit everything is a must. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I have 2 more episodes coming up for the Iceland edition. It was an amazing 48 hours there. It's going to get a lot better. I'm going to do a deep dive into history and show you some iconic natural landmarks there. On top of it, I rented that car and drove all over the place. So please, if you have any comments, put them down. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like doing that, if I added some value. Anyway, I am out of here. I will see you later. Bye.
I don't wanna save ya, don't wanna be strangers. Let me feel like you know what to do. Leave your limitations, live and go against them. Just let go and start up something new. Cause I know that what you planned out, everything that you built up, isn't what you want. And I know the life you're living isn't that fulfilling. Let me help you out. Lay your love on me, leave your head and let your mind be